Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Adele Levine, intuitive and medium. All right guys, so I wanted to get into this subject, and it's going to be a bit of a, I wouldn't say serious one, because I don't want you to get all bummed out. This is just kind of something that has come up over and over in readings. As I've been reading people daily, there's been a noticeable question that people are asking, and that is, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel so strange? Why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel weird? Why do I even feel, I think, depressed? I'm not sure. And the reason why I titled this video is The Awakening Over is because, believe it or not, it's tied to what everyone is feeling. So I'm going to just jump off right at the early of this video and ask you in the comments below, right at the top, because I know you guys are going to have thoughts and feelings, but have you been feeling like this? Have you been feeling like stagnant or lost? Or have you been feeling like the world just doesn't feel quite bright? We know from a lot that's going on, but I'm just saying, even if you're going to work, or even if you are going on a vacation, or just even trying to have a nice dinner with your family or by yourself, or just doing anything that you feel usually lifts your spirits, and it kind of does for a minute, but then there's like but feeling like, oh, I feel this way, but I don't know why. I usually enjoy this meal, or I usually love going to this, my favorite spot, but I'm not feeling quite right. Anybody? Okay. So go ahead and jump in the comments and say this. And you can also, I'm going to have a second question for you guys in the middle of this video. So the reason why I titled this, is The Awakening Over? Because for a long time of me doing this work, I would say about 15 years ago, something came to me and told me, be prepared that the world is going to go through a divide, that those who are awake are going to be prepared for it, and those who aren't are not going to be prepared for it, and that the two worlds were going to collide. Now, if you've been following my work some time, either on here and Instagram or otherwise, you might have heard me talk, and I know I've definitely done a video on here about, is the world changing, or the new world, especially about 2 years ago at the beginning of the pandemic and everything that we've been going through. I did talk about this and talk about how that we were in a time where everything was going to shift. Now, if you kind of rewind yourself back to that time and remember how it felt, like I was feeling that just right now. Remember the feeling of everything was just going, busy, 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 busy. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're trying to kind of keep all the balls in the air, you're making plans, you're seeing people, and it felt like things came to a very strange and abrupt halt, almost like the brakes going really slowly on life. So when you have felt that slow break on life, if you remember how it felt, that it was a while before you started to realize what was happening. I know that in my readings, I was preparing people from the other realm telling me, and from my site showing me, that people needed to prepare, that a new world was coming, that we were moving into the new world and nothing would be the same. So therefore, nothing is the same, right? We are starting school, we are going back to work, you may have even taken a vacation. I know I went to New York. New York definitely did not feel the same at all. I lived there for a while. Everything felt very different. People felt almost a little broken and battered, and almost just kind of humble in a way. It's the best way I could describe it. I'm not trying to say this is like a good thing of everything going on, but it was a definite different energy. Every place I went into, people were just happy that I was walking in. If you are familiar with New York, it is usually the ultimate of all the balls in the air. Hustle, bustle, hurry up, get what you need, get out, blah, 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 blah. And the feeling I got was, wow, we just really were on this hype of doing what we need to do, not caring how people were feeling, just, going. And the feeling I get everywhere is a divide, which is why I'm going to say and talk about the awakening. The divide is starting to happen, and the divide is this. The awakening was about wake up, there's a world behind a world. The other part of it is, if you haven't understood or learned by now that what affects one affects all, then you are not awakened. You are not waking up. If you are living your life only for what affects you only, then you are not waking up. So therefore, if you are someone who's feeling a little bit off kilter, if everything feels a little bit off, if you are feeling like, I just don't understand, I am doing everything I did pre-pandemic and it's just not feeling the same, you are not alone in this feeling. And this is because if you have woken up, if you have realized there must be something more to life in these past 2 years, if you have been seeking the answers of what does it really mean, the world behind the world, if you have been someone who has been on this path, then that means as we're moving into a new place and into a new world, you can't see it through the same lens you used to. Now, the divide is those who refuse to accept the change, to accept the idea that we can't go forward any longer unless we are thinking of things of one affects all. What happens to someone is affecting all of us, that we have to do things for all of us, that all of us as beings, as spiritual beings and human beings, we need to think at a level that we are not used to, which is what I'm doing when I walk out this door, how I'm behaving, what choices I'm making is actually having an effect on everyone. Now, there are people, and I've been watching things that are posted online, and the pain and the suffering. And I don't mean just our usual pain and suffering, by the way, people starving, people going through hard times, people going through the homeless crisis, which is definitely a crisis at this moment. But we have always had these things, but we are definitely seeing it so much more right there in front of us. Even if you were trying not to see it, it is now not hiding from you. And all of these things, I am talking about that we are feeling that something has changed, that there's a new world, that we can't go back and seeing things just in our own little world. And I've been watching and seeing how people are angry and they're hateful and they're pushing out an energy and yelling at people and being cruel to each other, for people who are just trying to do what's best for all, for the healthcare workers and for people who are trying to take care of the children. And there are people who don't want to accept that we are moving into a new world, that you can't just say, I just want to do what I want to do and I don't care. That you can't just say, I only care about me and I don't want to hear or care about what's going on with anyone else. It's not about the divide politically or the divide about this pandemic and whether people want to get into debates medically about vaccines and masks and such. What's really happening, guys, is that the people who are awake are realizing that if we don't change the way we are being, and we are not going to look, if we don't look at each other and say, listen, even if this inconveniences me, even if I feel uncomfortable, if this is going to help those on all bases, and it doesn't really put me out too much, I want to do this. I want to live my life aware and non-afraid of change, of evolution, of growth. And the reason why I say this is because the new generation, the young generation, the Z generation, and below them, are coming up into this world looking around going, what's the problem? Why is it so hard to just do things to help each other? Basic things. Why can't we have food for people? Why can't we take care of our sick? Why can't we take care of those who are struggling, your neighbor and such? Why? And they are changing this world. Not because they're star children, not because they're special more than you, who, if you're not a Z generation person, but because they are part of the evolution. This is what happens. Every generation has to push us into evolving. Now, the reason why I say the awakening is over, and this is why. Long ago when I got this message about the awakening and to tell people for 18 years, I would say 15. The first 3 I was learning my abilities and what it all meant. But I would say the past 15 years, the reason why this message has come in so strong is because it was told to me that people need to wake up. But now we are here. We're here. Now, believe me, I'm not the only one who has said this message. There have been many, many before me, many, many with me, many people who have written books, speeches, whatever you want to call it, spiritual people, non-spiritual people have been talking about we have to change and wake up and do things differently because it can't stay at this level. The level I'm talking about with all the balls in the air and go, 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 and don't worry about each other and just get yours and screw everybody and all that. I'm not the only one. But we are definitely here, and you are starting to see the divide. And the divide is those who want to do this, who want to be in a place where I need to listen. Even if I don't agree, I want to listen. Is this going to help you? Is it going to help others? And those who don't, those who say things were fine the way they were. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. This divide is happening. And therefore, people have chosen. And that's what I'm hearing from that realm. They have chosen. You can't do anything about that. Make that clear. The reason why you might be feeling a little bit sad, a little bit depressed, a little bit like off balance, a little bit not sure what's going on with you is because you can see it. You may see it in your own family. You may see it with friends. You may see it with coworkers. You're seeing this divide and you're going, I should be able to do something about it. I should be able to fix it. I should have some way that I can help. Now, I did a reading earlier, and you know who you are, and she said it perfectly. She said there are people prepping, wanting to prepare, because there's a feeling of something coming. But it's not really something coming. It's kind of like when people prepare for like a natural disaster. It's not a doom and gloom, contrary to what you might be seeing out there on TikTok, on YouTube and such. It is not a doom and gloom of the end of the world. What it is an end of consciousness, a way of being and the way of thinking. And you're feeling it. And you feel like you want to prepare for it. You feel this change is happening. And you're thinking, what should I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You can't do anything now. You can take care of you and your family and those you care about. But for the people that you're seeing going this direction, and they're choosing to go this direction, that they don't want the world to change. They don't want to move into this new world of realizing we have to change the ways we're handling the earth. We have to change the way we're dealing with our children. We have to change the way we're dealing with the elderly. We have to change the way we're dealing with people who are in need financially, mental health. All of it has to change. And it is changing. And it's pushing us there. And for those who felt comfortable and just wanted to believe in their own little bubble only about themselves and saying whatever, it's not my problem, other people don't like it. And so you're going to see them fall off in different ways, maybe out of your life or so on. And you may want to talk to them about how it's good that we have this new way we're doing things. You can't. And that is why you might be feeling stuck, because we're not quite there. We are moving through this muddy feeling of trying to get there. We are pushing our way through the heaviness and all of the thorns that are in our sides and in our being, in our spirit, because you are moving forward. Just because this is a good thing, the light is there, guys, and it is getting bigger. But as the light gets bigger, it also shines on those who are not liking it, who are looking ugly, who are looking nasty, who are being cruel and mean. And you are going, maybe I should tell them that they can hurt themselves, or this is a good thing, and you can't. And you start to move towards this new way of being. But change is uncomfortable. Change is not pleasant, contrary to what has been sold to you by the idea of woo type of stuff. Although I like a lot of woo-woo stuff too, but you know what I'm saying. The idea of utopia, it doesn't work that way. Change doesn't come that way. So I'm going to ask you now, have you felt what I'm saying? Have you been feeling like you want to do something about things, that you're seeing everything that's going on in the world? You're seeing this divide and you just are pulling your hair going, why? Why can't I get people to listen? Why can't I get people to care? Why can't I get people to open their hearts? Why can't I get people to understand? You can't. If you've been feeling this way, if you've been feeling like there's just something you want to do, you feel like there's something you're supposed to do, again, comment below. And that is why the awakening is over. So I'm going to say this very clear. People ask me all the time, what is that other realm telling me? That is it. They told me this about 9 months ago. I told people this. If you got a reading from me, you heard this. I've tried to say it in other posts. They are done awakening people. The awakening of people is over. The alarm clocks have gone off. If people want to wake up, they will. If they don't, they won't. What you can do now is help us move into this new world, to help people who want to move into this new world, help them, talk to them, check on them. And this is what you can do. Protect your own, protect yourself, and take a break from it. And that's why it took a long time to do this video, because I wanted to do this video for some time, but I just felt like, how do I want to say it? I had to let it come through. And pretty much as every reading lately has been, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I'm like, it's time. And I wanted to say it in a way that was clear, and I didn't want it to be a preachy thing, because I'm not trying to. I wanted it to be you to be seen and heard, that you are not alone. There are many feeling like you, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's completely normal. It is completely healthy. We just went through such a hard time. And now if you are a person who's watching this, you're probably someone who has been seeking these sort of answers. However, take a break. Okay? Go for a walk, go for a swim, watch some TV, play some video games, have some, this is water, but have some coffee, tea, whatever, float your boat, take a break. You can't live in this energy all the time. However, also recognize that what you're feeling is not wrong. For one, you're not off. For two, you're not crazy, and you're not imagining it, that you are definitely not alone. So when you connect to the other realm, know this. They are about helping those who are awake to deal with what the world is going through today, to help give us the strength. And I don't know if you guys remember, but long ago I said they kept showing me it's like a ball that they're going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And now we are here. They are part of this world, that realm. And what I mean by that is the spirit realm and the collective conscious whole. Because I know people are going to ask me, but that's what I mean. So I hope this video helped not hurt, because this wasn't meant to be like, ooh, here's a doom message, because I've had people say, other people are saying something's coming, blah, blah, blah. It's already here. We're already doing it. And I already covered what it means. If you want me to clarify anything, I'm happy to do a video on sub-subjects of this subject. Or also, I always answer your comments. I answer your questions. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I'm doing something a little different. I am going to be doing an intuitive gallery. What does that mean? I decided what it would be like, because I've never done it, if I have a very small group online where you guys can shoot a couple of questions at me and I'll answer them, meaning about your life, if it's finances, if it's this, if it's that, and you just don't want a full reading, but you just want to ask a few questions. I'm going to be doing that, and I have that posted on my Instagram, and I have a link tree these days on my Instagram, I think on here too. You can catch that. My 50% off is coming to an end, August 31st. Coming to an end. So please take advantage. I am working on a Patreon that I want to pop up soon, that I'll have some offers for different things and a little bit more content. So look for that. And lastly, the Witch in the Medium is doing a class. It might be too late by the time you see this, but it is going to be Friday night on the 27th at the Old World Emporium, which is Mystic Dylan's store. We're doing a live class, and you can get tickets online in my link tree or Mystic Dylan officials. If you go to his Instagram link tree, you also can come to the store and pay in person for people who have asked. We have just put up a new episode if you want to check that out. And I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much. I hope this helped. Remember, as usual, and especially important today, connecting to this video, I mean, follow yourself, follow no one, listen to the inner voice, and I'll see you soon.